Hello, everybody. Welcome to day one of prep week. Desiree here. So I just wanted to go over a few basic things, but are super important. Probably the most important, and a lot of people don't read everything like they should because we just kind of skim through things and just do it like we think we should do it. But this is very important. So when starting out, when you get your package, you're going to open it up, depending on what you got. If you've got the DVDs or you're doing the streaming, hardly anyone really does the DVDs anymore because we can do all the streaming and get all the workouts. But either way, if you do get the DVDs, you'll get a meal booklet with it. It looks like this. But even if you're doing it by the book or online, you want to make sure you read through everything. Online, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. But just start at the beginning, just like any other book, and read through it. You want to get familiar with the containers, what goes in each container. There is a list that goes with that. You know, it tells you what goes in the orange container, what goes in the green container, and so forth. You want to calculate your calorie target, so you'll just follow the formula that they lay out. That way you can see what calorie bracket you fall into. Very, very important to follow this. It works like a gem if you do it. There could not be anything easier, and this is, this is what is the hardest for most people just because it's brand new and we've never done it, but it's really, really easy. You literally use the measuring cup, the cups, container cups, like measuring cups, to put your food in and portion it out. It's that simple. So you just have to think about your meals, which is probably the hardest part, having a meal plan, or think about what you're going to be eating, then put it in the containers, and that's how you measure it out for your day. So, after you do that a week or two, it is just like anything else. You know it like the back of your hand. It's just something you make a habit. That's the goal, to make it a habit, and you just do it every day. I've done this for 3 years, and I get away from doing it because I can kind of see how things look on my plate as far as portions, and I know if it's right or wrong. And then I'll notice my results are not so great. And I'm like, okay, I need to go back to actually using my containers. And so I do, and there we go. There's my results. Sorry about that. So yeah, you need to really just read through the directions of what to do. Most all of our programs are going to the container system. There's a few that don't, like the yoga and things like that, but most of them do. So they all have recipes in here, which is great to try new things. And they all tell you, what containers that particular recipe is going to use. If you can see that. So even if you're doing everything online, you can go into each program and grab recipes from everywhere. So that's like an extra benefit to having online, is to use all those recipes too. Plus we have the cooking show. There's just so much. So this is number one. Make sure you go through your meal plan. You need to know what bracket you fall under and stick with that. As you lose weight and things change, you'll want to recalculate that to see if you've changed brackets. Next is you want to print out your calendar. If you got, like I said, if you got the DVDs, you'll get a calendar that comes in it. You can also go onto Google, Pinterest. They're all on there as well. Print them off. I always have my calendar on my refrigerator. We mark off our days. This is our new calendar for double time. So they're all different. I like to, it just, keeps me on track, knowing what I should do on what day. And I like to have my little check mark and see that I did it. It makes me feel accomplished. So another thing is your meal plan. And you do not have to type it out on a spreadsheet like this. I do this sometimes. A lot of the other times I have one that's written, and I write down what I'm going to have for each meal, and then I just put a dash for my containers so I know how much of each container I'm having. But this is hugely important to, again, stay on track. That way, things come up and things change, and that's no big deal, but you know what you're having. You can prep food. I always prep food on Sunday. to have things ready. And then I know that I've got all my containers covered for the week. So if something does arise, another good thing to do is always, I could take a picture of this and have it on my phone, because if something changes and I go out to eat or whatever, I know what I need to be doing, like as far as the colored containers. There's also apps on your phone, 21-day fix apps. You can mark off your containers on there. There's so many things to help you stay on track, so we cannot use that as an excuse. So I'm going to show you how to do things online really quick. Hopefully you guys can see this. So on Beachbody On Demand, you just go to your program. As soon as I get there. And remember, anything that you need, ask me questions. That's what we're here for. This is like learn as you go. I was in the same shoes you were when I first started. I had no clue what to do just because I'd never done it before, but I just read it. I did it and I stuck to it. And that first round, I did 21-day fix my very first time. And that first round, I was like so amazed. I lost 5 pounds. I lost, it was like 8 inches, and I just could not believe it. And like I was hooked ever since, because I was like, this is so easy if you just do it. Okay, so just choose, you'll choose your program, whichever one you're doing. So we'll just say, I always, defer back to 21-day fix, but we can choose something else. So if you've never tried out Fixate, it's a little cooking show. They give you new recipes. This is Autumn and her brother. That's a great way to find new recipes. Of course, there's a ton of recipes on here besides that too. Okay, say you're doing Country Heat, which is extremely fun. It doesn't even feel like you're working out. You're going to click on the program materials. Just go down and read everything. Read the quick start. They even give you tally sheets you can print off to keep track of your containers. Go to your calendar and print that off. I always print mine off, hang it on my refrigerator, like I said. There we go. So you just print it off. That way you know which workout you're supposed to do on which day. Again, very important to follow the containers or the calendars, because they're in an order for a reason. Okay, so you'll go to the eating plan. That is the book, the exact book laid out for you online. So you just go down, scroll through it, read everything, and it tells you, here we go, there's your formula you need to do, your brackets. It will tell you what to do. You can print that off if you need to, keep track so you know what to do, how many of each color. Here it gives you tally sheets to keep track if you want to use that. And then again, recipes, what goes in what color container, it tells you all of that. And you really want to, if you're changing up programs, you really want to read this. Even though you think it's the same, they're not always the same. So for instance, 22-minute hardcore, the list and things are different and container counts are different. Shift shop, you really need to read that really good, because it changes. Like week 2, you start getting rid of things. And you might forget, you like add a purple. Week 3, you get rid of all yellows and you add like a red and a blue or something. So you always need to make sure you're reading the container count and what goes in it for each program. Because we get in the habit, oh, it's all the same, because I know I've done that, because several of them are the same, but they are not. So make sure you're reading that. What goes in the container list can change. I know it does for Shift Shop. And maybe Hammer and Chisel, I can't remember. So you just really need to make sure you're reading it. And then again, there's lots of recipes, all for different things. You can scroll through the different programs and look at the recipes and take them. It even gives you, like this is showing you a menu right here to choose from. You can even, do what they say and just use their menu. They've got salad, or you can choose salmon. They're giving you different options for lunch. Snacks, raw almonds and an apple, or hummus on lettuce with strawberries, avocado and sliced pears. So it's giving you snack options. This is giving you a menu that you could use if you don't want to make your own. And then here we go with all different recipes down here. Okay, so that's really easy to get to. It just takes time to read it, and that's what you're going to do for every program. So you can do, I know when I started, I did, I don't even know, I think 4 rounds of 21-day fix before I moved on to a different program. So you can do whatever's best for you where you're at. It just depends. And talk to me about that too, so I can help you figure out what to do next. Okay, so that's just a little bit. I wanted to prep you on things to get ready for on day 1 and spend some time doing this week. Just to help you guys succeed and start off strong. And we'll see you tomorrow for day 2 of prep week. Have a good night.